When you lie, you sabotage yourself and the aspect of you that is truth, the soul aspect of you. Your ego is the part of you that wants to lie and that doesn't want to take accountability and handle self-respect and respect of others based on what you feel like may happen. And so when I was little, I had a huge problem with lying, and it has seeped into my adult life, and it's not a good thing. When I realized this pattern a few years ago, because I was unconsciously just looping and always responding in a way that doesn't hold the highest truth for myself and also doesn't hold the highest truth for those around me. And so with that, having that perspective of like, okay, when I participate in lying, I'm actually trying to inadvertently avoid shame. And so if I'm avoiding shame, I'm at school, so yeah. When I am avoiding shame, then my ego is nudging me to lie. And then it got to a point where this is an unconscious pattern. Lying about little things, like I think the first lie that I knew I said and I got in trouble with my parents was about shaving my legs or something. I feel like a lot of women probably have that, like it was something around beauty, something around like self-care. And my parents were like, no, you're too young for that, all that. And looking back, like, I get it. And also body hair has a point. So like that part, and not really knowing and like looking at it like, okay, grown women shave their legs. And it's like, why do they and why don't they? Whatever. Anyway, the point is that by lying about me shaving my legs in the shower, even though I got a cut, there's blood in the shower, and then the razor, like I didn't clean up after myself. I wasn't that smart, of a liar, or that good of a liar. And it was like, I was like 11 or something. But the reason why I felt the need to lie was because I was wanting to avoid shame. And I realized that not taking accountability for my actions, it's not so much like, oh, someone needs to hold me accountable or anything like that. It's literally for the purpose of avoiding shame. That's why we lie. Yeah, that's the core of it, to avoid shame. Because shame then feeds into guilt, which then feeds into fear, which then feeds into worry, which then feeds into self-doubt, which then feeds into self-worth. And because I kept on avoiding shame, that was inadvertently creating more shame in the first place, because I was lying and knowing, inner knowing, like unconsciously, subconsciously, knowing that doesn't serve my highest good, and my soul knows that is not a natural process. Truth is a natural process. And so realizing this now, after meditating, after going back to my consciousness. Okay, better. Going back to my consciousness, to source, to the void, I was able to see how my ego was looping. That's not to say that once I saw it, I, boom, stop lying. No. It was then more apparent to me, and the lies felt stronger. When I would lie and knew that I shouldn't lie, and that I can choose truth in this, and I'm now making a conscious choice, it felt harder. And then it felt like, oh, this is having a grip on me. The desire to lie, the desire to avoid. And then I realized, okay, if I'm wanting to avoid truth from others or sharing the truth with others, that means I'm probably avoiding truth within myself and avoiding the fact that I'm in this loop in the first place. That's why it keeps coming up. And so realizing that, it's become very apparent that meditation and sitting in the seat of consciousness, sitting as the observer, that seat of consciousness is you observing what comes up, what thoughts come up when you feel like you need to lie, what feelings come up when you feel like you need to lie. What are you really avoiding? Because at the end of the day, every single lie you're sharing with the world, you're also sharing with yourself. It's a feedback loop, and it's an interplay. And then also you're creating cages and prison bars. Think of every single lie that you're speaking creates prison bars. And then when we're lying in relationships, we're lying in any interpersonal connection, that creates knots in the tie that we have with that other person. And think of when we have knots in something, things don't go smoothly. And lies have to come out. I don't know if you're on TikTok right now, or it may be everywhere. I think I saw it on the news. Don't quote me though. But the couple that was cheating on both their partners and they were at a Coldplay concert, yeah, that. So there is clear evidence of what's going on, but also at the same time denial in public statements and different things like that. And so this is just a out picture of what is happening in many of our homes. And cheating is not the only way or only form of lying. So everyone is so quick to judge and be like, oh my gosh, they shouldn't have been doing that. They weren't in private, all this stuff. I get it. Yes, it's correct. But also, if this is happening on a world stage, the world is giving stage to that experience, then this is also happening in the dark, in some of our relationships, in some of our family communities, in some of our neighborhoods. So the lying, the hiding, you're not hiding from anyone else. You're really just hiding from yourself. You may think that you're hiding from your spouse. You may think that you're hiding from your sister or your brother. You may think that you're hiding from your family. You may think you're hiding from the government. You may think that you're hiding from anybody, being or a body of people. But in reality, you're hiding from yourself. And when we lie, we dig a deeper and deeper hole. It's like putting sand or soil onto a seed that's not germinating for life-giving purposes, but is germinating for destructive purposes. That's what we're doing every single time. And the aspect of us that's getting buried is the exact aspect that will save us. And so maybe from psychology terms, I would be considered a pathological liar. I actually didn't research that before hopping on here because it was just on my heart, pressing of okay, share what I learned. And it's not worth it. And it shows more about you than it does the other person. And in society, yes, we have little white lies and different things like that. If someone asks you, how are you? Oh, I'm good. And you may not really be good. These are microaggressions towards yourself. And then when we have bigger macroaggressions towards ourselves, so bigger lies, not small little white lies, now this is turning into something and an entity that we can't even fully control. Everything that affects our emotions and thoughts and links to another emotionally and thought-provoking being, which is another soul, links all of us together. And now that those lies have its own embodiment. So every time that one lies, you're feeding that. But every time that you say the truth and speak the truth, or even speaking, you know what? I feel like lying right now, so I need to sit with. So awareness in this case looks like this. I feel like lying right now, but I'm choosing not to. I'm going to sit with this discomfort, and usually that discomfort is right in the throat. That throat chakra is blocked when we're always lying. It's blocked. It's rediverting the energy into something more destructive. That's how powerful our energy sensors are. So when we are destructive with our words, we cannot be constructive and creative with those same words. And so back to the awareness, right before you may feel like you want to lie, then you're able to tell yourself, within yourself, I feel this coming on. I don't want to do this. And if you're really close to the person that you're genuinely not wanting to lie to, but you're feeling this urge to lie, you know what? Right now, I need to take a moment. And then you come back stronger and with the truth. Because it's a slippery slope. But how do we create that gap between the instinct to lie? Because remember, it's an unconscious loop. And how do we create that gap from that instinct to the actual lie coming out our physical mouth and vocal cords? That is through meditation, through observing ourselves and going to the seat of consciousness. The seat of consciousness is the aspect of you that always is, always was, and always will be. The aspect of you that doesn't need to lie to appease another, to hide. The aspect of you that can bask in all its truth with neutrality. It's the seat of God within you, and all of us have access to this seat. And this seat is best accessed in silence and stillness. However, people access this seat through flow when they're doing an action, but it's very flow-based, where they're bypassing their consciousness, or conscious thinking mind, let's say that, to the consciousness stream that is connected to the one stream, the one source. So if that's where lying comes from, just trying to abort shame, not wanting to feel shame, then there also is an aspect of you that wants to feel the freedom of truth, even if it takes the uncomfortable road. And so when we consciously choose to no longer continue to lie and feed into that, now that energy has to dissipate as time goes on. But this is a daily choice. You can't say it once and then not fall back into those patterns. That's why stillness is so important on a daily basis. And that's something that I have struggled with because so when I first realized that I was going to be meditating, I realized about meditation, all that stuff and the benefits. It was great. And I meditated straight for like 170 days. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm healed. That's it. And a lot of things started coming back. Because when you're wanting to elevate your frequency and really get to a point where now you are vibrating beyond the attachment to your emotions, attachment to the physical world, you won't need the lying. You won't need shame. You won't need guilt, worry, fear to feed off of. You get your energy from a different source, the original source, the God source. But your old frequency doesn't want you to do that. It's like, I'm trying to live too. Every type of energy in this world wants to continue to exist. And fundamentally with physics, energy can't be created nor destroyed, just transformed. So that is why our intention, the whole point of being here, having a human experience, is to move through these things that may not seem good, but we elevate ourselves enough to a point where we can transmute anything because this is our soul's path. So I'm not shaming myself anymore. I was shaming myself for just having this unconscious loop constantly. I was shaming myself. And it's like, there's no need. I can't shame myself to love. I can't shame myself into truth. I can't even shame myself into inner knowing. And you can't either. So let that go. Let go of that need. Because that's not really you, that's your ego. And so the divine truth is that you are love, you are joy, and you are peace, and you're inherently sovereign, inherently free, and inherently connected to the highest source of love. And you always have access. It's only you who create the limitation. It's only you who cut off access through unconsciousness, or let's just say spiritual dementia. So drop the line. It's harming you more than it's harming anyone else outside of you. And what you're running away from by lying is actually going to be invited into your life because you're lying in the first place. And that's not fun. That shit is difficult to sit with. It's like, I really brought this on myself because I was just avoiding minimal discomfort. But now this whole lying snowball has created greater discomfort. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So, peace, love, and light, and power to you. And I will see you in the next video.
I honor God when I honor me. I honor God when I honor